Hi, I'm Zaria, and I'm 17 and going on 18.
My name is Erica, and I'm 14 years old.
Hi, my name is Haley, and I'm 14 years old.
My name is Erin, I'm 14.
Hi, my name is Jania, and I'm 11 years old.
My name is Kennedy, and I'm 12 years old.
My name is Kaya Wright, and I'm 16 years old.
My name is Cassidy, and I'm 16.
Marijuana is a drug. It's a psychological drug. Yes, marijuana is legal in California.
Marijuana is legal in California, but it's still not able to be used in cars and workplaces.
Marijuana is this plant, and it's greenish gray. It's from the cannabis stevia.
Marijuana is a plant, and it's cannabis, and it is a drug.
Marijuana is a drug, and I don't think,
Marijuana is a drug.
Marijuana is a drug, and it can be addictive depending on who the person is.
I don't think it's addictive, but I think that it depends on the person and how they're using it that makes it addictive. I feel like the less you know about it, the more likely you are to do it. Marijuana is a drug, and yes, it can be addictive.
It's important that young people know about the dangers of drug abuse because it could lead to ways in life that you don't want to go down.
About 1 in 6 people who started using marijuana as a teen become addicted to marijuana. I think marijuana is more dangerous for teens than adults because our brains aren't fully developed and we don't know the real cost of what can happen to us when we're still developing our minds. In my opinion, I think it is more dangerous for teens, mostly because our brains have not fully developed. I think young people should know about the dangers of marijuana because they really don't know what they're getting themselves into. At the same time, it's like they're putting their life and their health at risk. So I think that they should just know the cost of what it can do and the effects of it because it's just not a thing that gets you high. There's also things that it can slow your development of your brain. It can do many different things.
It's important that people know that drugs can be dangerous because it could ruin their lives.
And they don't know what's going on. They can get seriously injured.
Marijuana is more dangerous for teens because our brains are not fully developed until age 25.
And marijuana comes in, it breaks the brain apart, and the development just stops abruptly. And
Marijuana is dangerous for either teens or adults based on how they use it.
Yes, I know people who smoke and eat marijuana, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I do know people who smoke, eat, and use marijuana on the daily.
I have a lot of friends, sadly, that do marijuana.
I don't know anyone personally, but I have seen people at school who have done it.
As kind of like a third-person view, because I kind of look at it as, oh, you probably shouldn't do it, but then also I can see what is preventing them from doing it or what isn't preventing them from doing it.
Dangers of marijuana use is it messes with your mental state. So say you're driving or you're trying to do something and then your mental state's just not there. 19% of the teens that drive report they have driven under the influence of marijuana.
Those products are gummy bears, vapes, brownies, cookies.
Candies, vapes,
Edibles brownies.
It can be more dangerous to consume marijuana through food because you don't know what's being put into the food.
Someone who's eating one of your brownies or your cookies or having your lollipop or ice cream or cake at a party or just a regular event may eat some and not be used to that feeling of a high or not knowing what's in there.
Some people feel like they can't talk to their parents, especially about marijuana or any other drugs, because then if they understand
the person who is, using that drug's point of view. They might say people use marijuana for anxiety. They would say, oh yeah, well, they're using it for anxiety. Sometimes they self-medicate. I'm not saying that I agree with that, but sometimes they do that, and I can see why they do that. But people from older generations would assume that maybe that child is taking that drug because they're defending another person's viewpoint. So I don't think that a lot of people around my age would probably feel very comfortable talking to their parents about drugs, mostly because their parents would then feel suspicious, and that's the worst thing that could probably happen, especially around my age of 16, 17.
Yes, I have talked to my parents about drugs and alcohol use inside our society.
Yes, I have talked to my parents about it.
Most people around my age, 16, 17, want to have fun with our friends, go out a lot, but we can't necessarily do that if our parents are suspicious of us.
The conversations were like, oh, yeah, I would never do that. And then my mother would be like, oh, okay. And that's basically what the conversation would be like.
What our conversations have been like is like, you shouldn't do this because I want you to go far in life, and that I think that it would be a distraction and like you won't go as far.
I just tell them, oh, there's this one kid at my school who does marijuana, and they say, you better not do marijuana or else.
It's more a matter of, will you be able to trust me if we have this conversation? Parents understand that just because the child may understand where the person that is using that drug is coming from, that they don't just assume that they are taking that drug.
Marijuana use can affect your school performance because you won't learn very many things that you should be learning in school. You'll be either sleeping in class or your mentality won't catch what the teacher is saying.
Marijuana use can affect your school performance because you're not going to be paying attention. Like what the teacher's teaching, you're probably not going to know the next day because you were high. Like you're distracted, you're not fully there, and like it can really mess with you.
Academically, smoking marijuana really probably isn't the best idea because you're not going to be able to retain that information, or it's going to take you a lot longer, like hours longer, in order to retain that information.
You're not going to be able to focus because you're high.
You cannot pay attention in class because you could be distracted. You could be asleep. You can not be able to focus or follow along because you're so impaired to where like you're not thinking straight and you're just like dozing off and you just look like you're just sitting there. So
There's tree.
Mary Jane, 420,
Dosing.
gas, green,
Jolly Stick.
blunts.
Another one is taking a hit. When you take a hit, you inhale marijuana.
Lace is like mixing something into a different substance to create a more powerful substance.
There's pot.
Good Giggles.
Gas, kush.
Nick, when somebody's nicked, it means that their marijuana was laced with nicotine.
Oh, the swishers, backwoods, reefers. There's a whole bunch of different things that people use.
Peer pressure is when your friends or family, it's sometimes family, pressure you or coax you in to doing something that you don't want to do.
They have friends that do it, and it's peer pressure.
They have bad influences from like friends, and they just see like TV shows. People see whatever they see on TV. Some people just do whatever they see on TV, or like somebody that they might look up to might do the drug. So they think, oh, since this person does it, why shouldn't I?
They want to be with the cool people in the school, or they want to feel like they belong.
They use it to like fit in, to like make them seem cool and stuff, to make them seem like they're that, but they're not.
And then like you see random people on TV, like you're inspired by that.
I mean, there are people who do it just for fun.
If you really think about it, so it's like you're high and then you're still in the same place, like you're still in your same being. It's just like your mind may not be totally there, but you're still gonna come, when you finally come down, you're still gonna be in the same issues. It's like being high takes your issue, like your problems away. It's like it helps you like be relieved from it, but it doesn't really like take them away.
There are so many things we can do with our minds and our time. We can choose things that support good outcomes, like getting involved with sports, volunteering, learning to cook, and preparing food for our family and friends. Life without drugs and alcohol gives you a better chance of meeting and exceeding your goals of becoming whatever you want to be in life. And things like participating in church and community activities, volunteering, hanging out with friends, dancing, the list is endless, but we have to be awake and aware.
Welcome to my home. Walking to the park. I think neither alcohol or marijuana is safe. I think they're both dangerous and can have a real bad effect on people's lives.
Okay, go on.
Not doing marijuana smoke, you can have more opportunities to pursue your dreams like dancing, being a doctor, playing a professional sport, whatever you choose to do in life.
You can be whatever you want to be. Just be drug-free.